first I thought everyone was exaggerating. Offices always have drama, and this place was no different. Rumors floated around like dust, someone stealing credit, someone talking behind backs, someone cozying up to the boss. I kept my head down and focused on my work. I believed if I did my job well enough, none of it would touch me. I was wrong. It started small. A project I'd worked on for weeks was presented in a meeting, but my name wasn't mentioned. The manager praised the idea, the execution, the creativity, and then thanked someone else. I told myself it was an honest mistake. These things happen. Then it happened again. And again. Every time my work showed up in meetings or emails under someone else's name. The same person. Let's call her Nadia. Nadia was charming in a very calculated way. Always smiling, always agreeable, always just trying to help. She knew how to talk to management, how to sound confident without sounding arrogant. And she knew exactly how to make herself visible, by standing on other people's work. At first, I tried the mature approach. I spoke to her privately. "Hey," I said casually, "I noticed the last report had some of my sections in it. I just wanted to make sure we're aligned on credit." She smiled sweetly. "Oh, I didn't realize. We're a team, right? I assumed it didn't matter." It mattered. After that conversation, things didn't improve. They got worse. She became bolder. She'd ask questions about my progress, suggest minor edits, then somehow end up presenting the entire thing herself. Management loved her. She was proactive, she was visible, she was everywhere. Meanwhile, I was slowly becoming invisible. The breaking point came during a quarterly review. A major success was being discussed, something that directly affected company revenue. I had led that work. I had stayed late nights, fixed last-minute issues, handled client feedback. When the director asked who was responsible, Nadia raised her hand. She didn't even hesitate. Something inside me went cold. I didn't interrupt, I didn't correct her. I just watched as she took praise, nodding humbly, promising even better results next time. People clapped, the meeting moved on. That night, I didn't sleep. I replayed every moment I'd stayed quiet, every time I'd chosen peace over fairness, every time I'd told myself it's not worth it. And I realized something uncomfortable. My silence had trained her. So I stopped being silent, but not in the way she expected. I started documenting everything, every email, every draft, every timestamp. I saved versions of files, comments showing my contributions, chat logs where she asked for help. I didn't confront her again. I didn't complain to management. I let her keep going. Over the next few weeks, I gave her exactly what she wanted: access. I shared ideas, solutions, frameworks, but I changed how I delivered them. Instead of full answers, I gave outlines. Instead of final solutions, I gave directions, enough for her to feel confident, not enough for her to succeed alone. At the same time, I started building relationships quietly. I asked thoughtful questions in meetings. I sent concise follow-up emails summarizing discussions, with my name clearly attached. I made sure decision-makers saw my thinking process, not just the final output. Then came the big project. Leadership announced a high-stakes initiative with visibility all the way to the executive level. Nadia immediately positioned herself as the lead. She volunteered to coordinate, which really meant collecting everyone's work and presenting it as her own. I played along. I gave her a framework that looked solid on the surface but required deep understanding to execute correctly. She didn't ask questions. She never did. She assumed she understood it. The presentation day arrived. Executives filled the room. The mood was serious. Nadia stood confidently at the front, slides polished, tone rehearsed. The first few minutes went fine, then the questions started. Simple at first, then deeper. She stumbled. Her answers were vague, inconsistent. She contradicted her own slides. Someone asked about a risk I had specifically warned her about weeks earlier. She waved it off until another executive pushed harder. That's when the room changed. Confusion turned into concern. Concern turned into scrutiny. She tried to recover, but the confidence was gone. Her smile faltered. Her voice tightened. Finally, the director turned to the group. Who worked on the technical foundation of this? I raised my hand. Not dramatically, just calmly. I did, I said, and I'd be happy to clarify. For the next 10 minutes, I answered every question clearly, precisely, with evidence, with reasoning, with the depth that only comes from actually doing the work. The room listened. When it was over, there was silence. Then the director nodded slowly. Thank you, that was helpful. After the meeting, I didn't say anything to Nadia. I didn't need to. She avoided my eyes, packed up quickly, and left. The next week, management restructured project ownership. Credit guidelines were suddenly emphasized. Documentation became mandatory. Nadia was no longer the go-to person. She wasn't fired. She wasn't publicly shamed. But the stealing stopped. A month later, my manager called me in. I owe you an apology, he said. We should have noticed sooner. I nodded. I should have spoken sooner too. He smiled. We are fixing that. From then on, my name was attached to my work. My voice was heard. Nadia stayed professional but distant. She never tried to take credit again. People say office revenge should be loud, confrontational, explosive. They're wrong. The most effective kind is quiet, patient, precise. They thought taking credit was harmless. Until it was.